After living in Santa Fe, Kathy Lund wanted a water-thrifty garden when she moved to Austin and renovated a 1960s home. Long hours as a veterinarian called for low-care plants that didn't demand lots of spare time. Friend and former husband Richard Lund of Grupo Pacific in Carlsbad, California, styled the exterior's facelift with slatted panels. James Mack of Gemco executed precise construction. They also teamed up to design and build slatted privacy fences anchored with stainless steel. The side fence encloses a small courtyard patio. Landscape designer Bud Twilley turned plain Jane flat into terrace levels that control rainwater runoff. He revamped the entrance walkway with offset limestone pads.
The front door is so far to the left. I wanted to bring people more towards the center of the house, and have a nice kind of a meandering pathway up to the front of it instead of a straight shot from the street.
Gravel tempers rainfall on the slope to let it slowly sink in.
At first she didn't want any lawn, and so I had designed gravel for the whole yard, and I finally talked her into a little bit of zoysia grass just to soften the whole effect, and I think it works. On this kind of slope I definitely would use gravel, and there's so many different types. This is a rainbow gravel. Mulch would just be down in the street. She wanted to be able to walk around the house, so we did the path around to the back of the house with the stepping stones. I like to use larger gravel on streets because that usually prevents dogs from walking in your yard. Then that's the Brazos Brown.
Bud's first step was to clear the area of weedy growth and cover with 2 to 3 inches of quality topsoil.
And then we put the gravel on top, and the thicker the better. So try to go 3 to 4 inches on the gravel.
He accented with boulders dotted with lichen for an Austin meets Santa Fe connection. Steel planters add another layer of depth between the curb and grassy upper level.
Along with the limestone walkway and the boulders, we've got a good match going with the steel and the stone and the gravel.
Succulents and perennials for wildlife need little water and very little tending. Still a young garden, wide spacing prevents overcrowding in a few years. Although Kathy wasn't going for privacy, the plants break up the view while connecting to the upper level. Hummingbirds and butterflies flock to fall-blooming Salvia leucantha. Pride of Barbados stars in warm weather to attract all kinds of pollinators. Low-maintenance knockout roses color things up for months.
Taking this through to the side, we just incorporated the Brazos Brown with the stepping stones, and it gets full sun, so it's harsh conditions. So I think on that side we put sotals and yuccas and hardier plants that would take this full sun, and I think it goes well with the contemporary fence that she had built.
One side frames a shady courtyard where Kathy's dogs hang out with her and friends after a long day. She makes the most of this small L-shaped space with a sculptural concrete water fountain. Later, Kathy found a silvery metal sculpture that spirals dimension and gleams after hours under moonlight. Kathy and friends also hang out on the front porch to chat with neighbors strolling by. Richard and James collaborated on what they've all dubbed the wine bar. In her free time, Kathy can actually enjoy it all. Sure, she's out there for seasonal pruning, cleanup, and planting, but she doesn't have to sweat it out every weekend.
If you start out right, and with the right materials and the right plants, you can do low maintenance. It's pretty self-sufficient.